good morning, good afternoon. Listen, thank you for all those titles and kudos and all that. My favorite job is that as Lolo to my grandchildren, and really what propels me every day. Folks, Charles, officers, please thank you so much for the hospitality. I really appreciate that. I want to do to our officers, our zone leaders. Where's Linda, my zone leader? Thank you for all you've been doing. Congratulations, Kevin Skidmore. Shout out for you for your well-deserved Myra and Golden Activist Award. I'm doing all my shout outs to selected officials. Thank you for your courage. But most of all, I want to thank all the activists in this room who not only get us elected, but who are saving our community from extremism and hatred. You know that. And someone told me I was getting a little honor today. If that's so, I want to thank you for that. I don't usually get honors. The honor for me is oh, you have an honor for me?
I have an honor for you.
Oh, here we go.
You have been the most incredible representative for where I live, and we have had this incredible relationship. And I love that I have both you and Felicia on speed dial.
Felicia, come take a bow. Felicia's hiding.
Felicia's
come on,
hiding.
Felicia. Oh, there she is. That's just going to go behind the pole.
And I'm sorry, we're being incredibly informal today, but that's who we are because we're Democrats.
Right.
And this is a little token of the appreciation. It's not a plaque, it's not a trophy. It's something we hope you can use.
Okay, thank you.
And
Thanks.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Good, I'm glad you did. You know, Linda, thank you. I just want to say, we had a little redistricting. So I think I'm being taken out of Boca Raton for the next election. But I just want everyone to know is that, especially the Democrats and even with some of the Republicans in South Florida, we work as a team. So I'm always going to be on your side. And we're going to always work together to put people over politics. So, listen, I know things have been tough for a lot of people. We had someone call our office just the other day. She said she lived on a fixed income. The landlord had just raised her rent $600, and she asked Felicia, she said, what am I going to do? COVID and Putin's war has significantly contributed to prices of gas and food and rent, straining budgets here in Palm Beach County and all over the world. And that's not all. We know the Supreme Court has dismantled legal abortion. Our children are being gunned down in schools. The climate is burning and flooding and melting. And I think of my own two grandsons, and I worry. We live in a state where our governor is in a race to the bottom. Who's going to win, him or that governor of Texas? I think our governor is ahead, going to the bottom. But actually, with all that said, I want to bring you some good news. And I am bringing you some good news and some exciting news from Congress. Because folks, let me tell you something. We have a lot to brag about and to contrast with the Republicans. Since Biden was elected, Democrats passed the American Rescue Package. We got shots into people's arms, money into people's pockets. We opened schools, we saved businesses, and we provided health insurance for millions of people. And we did that mostly, or entirely with Democratic votes. And then also with Democratic votes, we passed an infrastructure bill that will modernize our modes of transportation and broadband. Again, most of the Democrats passed that. We just passed into law what's called the CHIPS Act. That's going to end our dependence on foreign manufacturing of chips that power everything from cars and TVs and household appliances. Wow, that was big, very big. It means American manufacturers will produce more and families will pay less. And teed up this month, folks, is an inflation reducer bill. That's what they're calling it. It's going to it's going to allow for the first time to allow Medicare to negotiate drug prices that will bring the cost of drug prices down. And it will deliver the country to reduce and to fight climate change. So, listen, so we actually have accomplished some very, very big things. Probably more in the first 2 years of the president's term than any president that we can think of. And listen, I know that the United States Senate is somewhat a difficult place to do business with. I sometimes call it the graveyard or the cemetery because we said them really good things and they die. But here's the thing. Democrats in the House are laying the case. They're laying the case for the campaign because it's going to distinguish Democrats all over the country from the extreme Republicans that we buck heads with every day. So I am proud to tell you this. Listen to what we have done in the House just recently. We passed legislation making access to abortion legal in this country. We passed legislation making access to contraception a right in this country. Believe it or not, I was in a committee meeting where Republicans had an amendment, which they all voted for, that said, in counseling on contraception, you could only mention the word condoms. This is where they are, folks. We passed legislation protecting voting rights. We passed legislation to stop price gouging and to get food prices down. We passed legislation to recognize same-sex interracial marriage. And just last Friday, and let's get a drum roll for this, we passed legislation banning assault weapons. And we did this with almost zero help from the Republicans. So folks, as we go into the November, we have a lot to talk about of what Democrats have done. We want to distinguish ourselves from the extreme Republican Party that wants to control our bodies, but not who can buy a gun. So let's work harder than ever, up and down this ticket. Our children, our grandchildren are depending on us. I want to again thank you all for your hospitality, for your kindness, your support. Let's do it, folks. Let's win. Joe, I yield back, and thanks for the great job you've been doing. Come on back. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
Yeah, it's very heavy present.
I can carry it. You know, in the remarks about how well we work together, okay. If any table has not had an opportunity to grab food, if you can, please go up and do so. As I was saying, in the remarks about how well we work together, you know, because of all of you, I'm fortunate enough to serve as a constitutional officer. And the way that we work as constitutional officers, from the sheriff to the state attorney, public defender, supervisor of elections, and most of all the tax collector, because Ann collects the money, but then it comes over to me. But without further ado, I want to bring up our great public servant, Ann Gannon, to make an introduction. Oh no, I'm sorry, Ann. I actually have somebody that would like to introduce you. Mindy? Is Mindy? Is Mindy here?
She was here.
Very good. We are actually running ahead of schedule, and that's a good thing, because we have two of our great county commissioners here. First and foremost, I'd like to call up Maria Sachs. Wish you luck.
Thank you, Joe. You know, I'm here to kill time. And I was going to dance, but you don't want to see me dance. So I'm going to call out my county commission, my fellow colleagues. You know, I was your state senator for many years, and now that I'm on the county commission, it is such a pleasure to work with colleagues who go to the same Democratic club parties that I do. So I'd like to call up our mayor, and I'd like to call up our vice mayor. I'm so proud to be here with two very, very wonderful public servants. Mayor Bob Weinroth, and we call this fellow right here, we call him, what can I say?
Yeah.
It's okay? Yeah. It's all right? Vice Weiss. Vice Weiss. And you don't think we have a good time? I tell you, I served in the Florida House and the Florida Senate with our Honorable Ann Gannon and our Honorable Susan Booker, and it was tough. It was tough. I mean, we were fighting Republicans in the morning and the afternoon. I also served with somebody to my right, Senator Joe Abruzzo. It got a little bit easier when Joe got there because we'd always let him go in first. And Representative Kelly Skidmore was with us as well. We tucked her right behind me. So Joe was first, then me, and then we sort of walked. Ann was always in the front. So we beat him up as much as we could. But now that I'm here, and I serve as your county commissioner, I serve with these great colleagues of mine. I'm going to pass the microphone on. And you're going to hear from those, and I know you, Senator Abruzzo, you spoke that all politics are local. Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Democrats, this is local politics right now. Go right ahead, Mayor. Bob Weiss.
Thank you so much. Commissioner, it's so great to be able to serve with you and with Vice Weiss. We really do have a great group up there, and we are happy to represent you. Each one of you, if you ever have a problem, you should feel very comfortable reaching out to our staffs. We're there for you, and we're very, very happy to do anything we can, either on the county or even the state level. We work with our representatives in Tallahassee all the time, and we work with our federal representatives as well. So anything you need, please reach out to us, and let me ask you a favor. In November, there's going to be a question on the ballot. And the ballot question is going to be, will you allow us to borrow $200 million to address workforce affordable housing? We need your support. This is very, very, very important. When November comes around, please, we cannot go out and lobby for this because the legislature took that right away from us. We need you in the streets and in the communities to tell people this is essential. And so please, if you, anything else that I can ask you, this is the most important. Please remember to vote on the question on the $200 million bond issue. Now I give you my favorite Vice Weiss.
Good afternoon, Democrats. Wonderful to be with everybody this afternoon. I want to thank our Democratic Club of Boca, Delray. Thank you very much for hosting us this afternoon, as you have been doing for so many years. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Mindy, and thanks to the board and everybody else who's put this together. But it is my honor and privilege to be able to serve as a Democrat representing you all on the Palm Beach County Commission. And we can't do the things that we're able to do and move our community forward without your support. So we are all eternally grateful that you have assisted us and continue to go out and support us so that we can get things done to make this a better community and move Palm Beach County better. So, or move Palm Beach County forward. So thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with you all. And I think, are we done dancing? All right.
Thank you, and Mayor, my apologies. You blended in with the jacket.
That's what it was.
You know, we always talk about passing it on, and Linda Rosenthal, President Osterly, Lindy, all of you have been such amazing leaders of our Democratic Party for so many years. That there's somebody here who grew up in this organization and grew up, born and raised here, went to San Francisco. Can you imagine? Went to San Francisco for a couple of years, but she's back. She's back, and she's going to be one of our future leaders. It's my daughter, Natasha.
You know, Mr. Mayor, you bring up a great point about affordable housing. And Representative Skidmore and the former legislators know this well. Every year, we have a large trust fund called the Sadowski Trust Fund that has hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, if not more, for affordable housing. And every year the Republicans come in and sweep that trust fund. We should not even have to be funding it ourselves. That's happening because of what's going on in Tallahassee. So once again, with the theme of doing our job here at home, taking matters into our own hands by our great county commissioners, we're going to try to correct it, God willing, with the people. I'm going to take about a 5 to 10 minute recess because we are ahead of schedule, and everybody enjoy the food, and we'll be back up with our program and our keynotes and a big award for Representative Skidmore. Fighting for us here at home. And first and foremost, I'd like to call up Pavel Holzhauer to speak on her candidacy for Congressional District 23.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Thank you so much, Linda, for organizing this. It's wonderful to be together. So, many of you I know from my work in the community. I'm Hava Holzhauer. I'm running to replace retiring Congressman Ted Deutsch. There are 6 of us in this primary, 5 men and myself. And I didn't make this decision to run for Congress lightly because, as we know, the job of being in Congress and the job of running are 2 very different things. But it has become commonplace for our legislators to undermine the good work that once made America a more enlightened and caring nation. So I took a look at the state of our state and the state of this nation as it relates to the marginalization of so many people, and I knew it was time to jump into this mess. I only have 1 minute left? All right, I thought I had 3 and I timed it out, but do I have 2 or 3? 2. Okay, great. Phew. So, as the former director of Florida's Anti-Defamation League, I fought anti-Semitism and other hate. I worked directly with law enforcement. I'm also a civil rights and workers' rights attorney, and I tackled insidious cases around age, race, and pregnancy discrimination. And I've seen firsthand the issues that are holding back this country. So, right now, there's incredible work to be done around women's rights, around the justice issues, around gun reform, around voting rights. And I have over 20 years worth of experience and skills to come into this race and to build some armor around the federal legislation to protect our rights. So, my record is clear, it's public, you can look me up. I'm going to stay around and come and talk to you while you're here today, but I've spent over 2 decades working in our communities. And I'm also the non-establishment candidate in this race, which means I have no strings attached. And I'll be working for the people. We have a misnomer in this party that we need to elect the same people over and over and over again. And when we do that, we're going to get the same exact result. And it is time for a different result. Our legislators have not been doing what needs to be done to protect us. I'm excited to go and be your next Congresswoman, so vote for Hava, and thank you so much for having me here today.
And next, Ben Sorensen.
Thank you, Joe. How we doing, Democrats? We good? We feeling good? We ready to fight? I'm running because we need fighters. We need fighters in this election. And Congresswoman Frankel is the exact kind of fighter we need. Can we give her another hand? so proud of the fighting she's done and the fighting Congressman Ted Deutsch has done. And I'm running to fill Congressman Ted Deutsch's seat because I was born into a family of fighters. My parents were fighters, were advocates. My dad moved to Atlanta at a young age because he heard about an organization being run by an individual fighting segregation, Martin Luther King Jr. in the late 50s, early 60s. My dad helped bus and organize freedom riders going through the segregated South. He and my mom then became dedicated to fighting HIV and AIDS in a time in the 1980s when it was called GRIDS and there was massive stigma around HIV/AIDS and they were fighting for federal funding. That's the family I was born into. I'm honored to have my wonderful wife Anna here. Anna, if you just wave your hand and say hi. And we have two lovely daughters. We live in the city of Fort Lauderdale where I'm the vice mayor and city commissioner. I bring experience to the table. When I got elected, we had a gun show held in the city of Fort Lauderdale in our public parks, if you can imagine. Assault weapons in our public parks. I led the effort to fight the gun lobby, the NRA, and we kicked the gun shows out of the city of Fort Lauderdale's public space. Thank you. And that's what I'm going to do as your member of Congress. We just had the House pass the assault weapons ban, and we have to push like never before. I've been in the military for 14 years. I still am in the Navy Reserves. I'm trained on assault weapons. I know how they work. They are military-grade weapons that do not belong in our communities. I'm going to fight to remove them, remove mass capacity magazines, and institute national background checks. Choice matters. The Supreme Court is going to continue to attack and affront our women's right to choose. Ron DeSantis and MAGA Republicans are going to go further than that. They're going to go after contraception. They're going to go after gay marriage. I'm going to stand strong with our fellow Democrats, and we're going to fight like never before because more is at stake than just this congressional seat. We have to win this congressional seat with someone that's a fighter, that's proven, and we have to flip Florida blue. Right? We got to evict DeSantis from the governor's mansion. We gotta kick Rubio out of whatever he's not doing. Can we get Val Demings in the House, please? Can we elect Val Demings to the U.S. Senate? We need someone that's gonna fight. I'm not only gonna fight for you in Congress, I'm gonna fight to turn our state blue. I'm Ben Sorensen. I'm honored to be here with you. Thank you, Linda and Richard. Thank you very much.
Jared Moskowitz is not here yet, but when he does come, we allow him to speak. In the State House,
Alan Ellison, Joe.
Oh, sorry. That's right. And Ellen Ellison for Congress.
Hello, everybody. How are you all doing today? It is so good to be here with you all. My name is Alan Ellison. I'm running for the United States Congress to represent District 23. We have a lot of candidates in this race, and I'm very happy to be one of them, to represent the interests of those who simply do not have a voice in the United States Congress. When I look around this district, when I look around the state, there are those that have, and there are those that have not. But those that have not make up the greatest majority. And I'm looking to be the champion for those who simply do not have a voice. I'm talking about those women that have been taken advantage of. I'm talking about women who have lost their right to choose. I'm talking about women who simply do not get paid what they deserve because there are employers that are looking to make them second-class citizens by paying them less than what men are being paid. I want to make sure that each and every person in our society in this district have a right to what everyone else is getting. Right now we have people who are being violated because they're returning citizens. They're not able to partake in the same raises as everyone else. We have people that literally are being disrespected, overlooked, undervalued, and we need to make sure that every one of us have an opportunity. So my campaign is about improving the quality of life for everyone. We have a policy that we want to push. It's called the Higher Learning Bill, where we decriminalize cannabis and we tax the sale of it to pay for higher education. When I was growing up, I was a survivor of gun violence. A guy put a gun to my head. One guy put a gun to my back, and they took everything from me. I have literally buried 2 nephews. Just buried one last month due to gun violence. My uncle died from gun violence. It is something that is very personal to me, and I am going to fight to make sure that we have gun safety that we need in this country. There are 55,000 different issues, but I believe that if we start talking about enough issues, we're going to soon find out that we have more in common. We have to be able to reach across the aisle and inspire those who are on the right and in the middle to understand that Democrats have been there when the country has needed leaders the most, whether it was the CARES Act, the HEROES Act, the Recovery Plan, the government plan to strengthen our infrastructure. It has been Democrats that have been there when Republicans have turned their back time and time again. And right now, Democrats up and down this state are going to need you all to help strengthen our voices, amplify our voices, make sure you get people out to vote, because right now the Republicans are 180,000 more registered voters than the Democratic voters. And if we have a chance to change any of this, to make any type of impact, we're going to need our people to get out to the polls. So I want to thank you again. My name is Alan Ellison, running for the United States Congress to represent your interests in District 23. Thank you all very much.
And on to House District 92, Hassan Zenger. Speak about his campus.
Good afternoon, all Democrats. How are you? Well, my name is Hassan Jahangir. I'm a candidate for Florida House District 92. Now, don't take it wrong way. This is a brand new district. There is no incumbent in this district. So please, I have a primary and I have an opponent, and please try to understand that this district is a brand new district. So if you give me the opportunity, it will be my pleasure to serve you and represent you the right way in the State House. Now, you all know me. I've been with the Palm Beach County Democratic Party for the last 25 years, from the day in, day out. I live in this district with my family for the last 45 years. So I'm not a stranger in this district, ladies and gentlemen. And only thing I don't have, REP before my name. But I have more experience, more fighting I've been doing in this community, day in, day out, every single day. I have knocked more doors than any candidate in this room. I can proudly say that. And I made a lot of NPA to the Democrat, a lot of Republican to become a Democrat. And you think that's not experience? Please, so I need your support. My main goal is simple. I know we all Democrat fight for the gun control, abortion law and everything. But including that, I have a one simple agenda on my thing from the day one when you elect me. Kitchen table talk. Our home insurance, the sky roof. Our taxes for the homes, the sky roof. And then our gun, school cost and everything. You know, people work all day long. They come, they sit down, after they finish their dinner, after they finish their dinner, they talk about their problem every single day. So you daily problem, I'm the one. And I'm not a career politician, ladies and gentlemen. I will make sure, as soon as I put everything on the right track, the way that every elected official is supposed to do, including me, I will make sure every politician work for their money, not in sitting out anymore, and there has to be a term limit for every elected official plus the judges. And I promise, I'll put everything on the right track, and after that, I'll open the door for somebody new. Thank you for your time. Hassan Jahangir, District 92.
And our Representative Kelly Skidmore.
Good afternoon, Democrats. It's so nice not to stand behind the podium where you can't see me. So I know you haven't seen me in a while because I was under the weather with some surgery. So it's even more, you are literally a sight for sore eyes today. So thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here. My name is Kelly Skidmore. I'm running for re-election. Despite what some other folks might think, I am running for re-election in District 92. I have been serving that community for the last 2 years. I have some previous experience in the legislature as well. I served for 4 years, from 2006 to 2010, with some of the folks who are in this room. Senator Abruzzo, Senator Sachs. I served with Ann Gannon, and I have worked with so many of the folks in this room, so many friends, Leslie Shriver, when we were back in Ron Klein's office together, and my legislative staff who have come back again to be a part of this process because we love it so much. Dr. Gwen Gonzalez, Amy Chamberlain, and Khadija Willis, we all work together to represent you, to work for you. Our number one goal is constituent service, and we want to get your 5-star review. So I am looking to represent you, continue to represent you in Tallahassee. We have significant issues. We are in the minority as Democrats, as you know. We are 42 out of 120. My priorities have always been health care, access to health care. Abortion is health care. Abortion is health care. Abortion is health care. So I will continue that fight. Back in the day, Ron Klein started the ban on assault weapons, and we got the death threats, and we had the sergeants following us, and we continue that fight today. 25 years. Things don't happen overnight. We will never give up. We will continue the fight. Representative Susan Booker, Supervisor of Elections Booker, also serves with us. So I am thrilled to be here. I am excited for the opportunities that lay ahead. I hope that I can earn your vote on August 23rd or before, if you vote early, or if you vote by mail, which I strongly encourage. My name is Kelly Skidmore. I'm looking forward to serving you for the next 2 years. Thank you so much.
On to House District 93, Tom Vallejo. As he's approaching, I did want to recognize 2 people here today. Ellis Freeman, who's running for sheriff, but not until 2024, and Leslie Schreiberg's here representing Sheriff Rick Bradshaw.
Good afternoon, Democrats. How are we doing? Folks, my name is Tom Vallejo. I'm running for the Florida House of Representatives in District 93. We are way out of that district right now. It includes the village of Wellington and parts of Green Acres. But I'm still proud that I can come hang out with some of my fellow Democrats. Folks, I worked in the legislature for the last 6 years. For the last 6 years, I was in the Florida legislature, in the trenches and all the fights we've been talking about. And I have learned firsthand, I have watched as this legislature has gotten more and more partisan. Governor Ron DeSantis came in, he gave them the green light to do whatever they want. And our government's been in a tailspin ever since. They are hell-bent on stripping away a woman's right to choose. The governor has said that he wants to turn this into an open carry state. He did. Folks, these are the challenges that we are facing right now. So I want to go back up to Tallahassee. I said if I'm going to go back up, I'm going to go back up with a little bit of influence. I'm going to fight and I'm going to work for you every single day. Okay? Folks, the fight is not going to be easy. It is not going to be quick. As you just heard Representative Skidmore say, she's been fighting an assault weapons ban for the past 25 years. We don't have 25 more years when it comes to the climate. We don't have 25 more years when it comes to a woman's right to choose because, folks, these issues are on the ballot this November. We need to get together. We need to work hard. And, folks, I want to help lead that fight because I've seen it. I've been up there. I've been in the trenches, and I can help lead it on day one. My name is Tom Vallejo. Now, this is a room of friends, so I'll do this. I I share my phone number with a lot of people. It is 561-603-3274. You can go to tomvalio4florida.com. Folks, we have a fight on our hands. We have work to do, and I hope I can earn your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. And in all fairness, another candidate for 93 was here, Catherine Waldron, but she had a very important job. She's driving our Congresswoman Lois Frankel today, so she had to leave, but she was here. Of course, our near and dear friend that we love and has been fighting so hard for the students and teachers in Palm Beach County, Karen Brill.
Thank you. So it's great to be in a room where we are not being screamed at. Right, Alex? And right, Marcia? I'm Karen Brill, the Vice Chair of the School Board, and I do want to recognize one of my colleagues, Alexandria Ayala is here, and you'll be hearing from my colleague, Ms. Marcia Andrews. What a crazy world we are in. And I need to tell all of you, don't let what happened to Hillary Clinton happen to us. Every day people say to me, you're in. No, don't tell me that. Vote. Because we know what happens when Democrats do not vote. We cannot take anything for granted. And I want you to know that all of us have crazy people running against us. Your Democratic school board members do not have Democrats running against us. We have people that want to arm our teachers. We are never going to arm our teachers in Palm Beach County. That I can assure you. And they're crazy. I mean, one of my opponents is saying that we give our kids poisonous food in school food service. They are absolutely nuts. So all of you know me. I've been a member of this club like forever. So I'm not going to go into what my platform is. I'm going to tell you that you need to go out and vote. We've seen the bills that have come down. Don't say gay, anti-woke. They're trying to kill public education. And the way that we can stand up to it in Palm Beach County is by keeping your Democratic school board members on the school board. So again, I just want to say thank you, everybody. I'm Karen Brill. I'm in District 3. It's West Boca, West Delray. I go down I don't go beyond Glades Road, Lake Worth, a little bit of Green Acres, and Pointed Beach. I'm your unincorporated school board member. So I want to say thank you again, and as my son would say, please vote for Karen Brill, the brilliant choice.
Thank you, Karen. I also had the opportunity through my years in the legislatures to work with Marcia Andrews. Marcia would always come up to Tallahassee and advocate for the Glades communities, our most underprivileged communities in our entire county. But beyond that, she's been a steadfast fighter for our core values and also protecting children and teachers throughout Palm Beach County. Marcia.
Wow. Woo, it's great to be home. Boca Delray Democratic Club. This is where I'm a member. Back in 2010, you said, Marcia Andrews, we will make sure that you are elected to the school board to represent our children. And I want to give a big hand right now to the most powerful Democratic club in Palm Beach County. You made me. Boca Delray Democratic Club. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that was back in the day when everything was gerrymandered. My seat started right here at Yamato Road, Delray at Military Trail, Boynton at the Turnpike, and I went all the way through Wellington, half of it, the acreage, Royal Palm Beach, all the way back to South Bay. But we did it. You elected me. And I am here to stay, everybody. I am here to stay. It's truly about our children. The governor has been out of control. I heard you, Tom. And I heard the other candidates. We're going to take him out.
Yeah.
We're going to take him out in this election. And the news for the governor, is he's not going to take over our school boards. You heard Ms. Brill. Mr. Dollar, we're not letting them take the school board. I'm going to be there to sit with you for the next 4 years. I want you to know it's truly all about our children. We're not going to discriminate against children. We're not going to teach them CRT because we don't do that. But we do teach history. And by the law, the Florida law, they can be taught history. And we're not going to let the governor shut us down. We're going to let our teachers know, don't be frightened. Teach the children. Teach them history. Teach them what they need to know to be successful. We've been through this pandemic, all of us. Our children have suffered. They've been in remote learning, to in-school learning, and back to remote. So they've been through the mill. They're having mental health issues. We're at a time where we can't get teachers because of workforce housing. I know I don't have a whole lot, but I want to tell you, I know the issues. The people running against me know nothing. Nothing, and they're not going to be sitting on the school board. And I promise you, I'm the educator, the teacher, the principal, the chief of human resources, the one who sat there and worked for the school district, and the one that fights for every child. I love the children, that's what it's most about, and we will win. The Republicans and all those folks out there, we've got their number, because it's truly about the children. Thank you.
And we actually have one more member of our school board here that I would love to bring up, Alex Ayala, to speak.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alexandria Ayala, and I am the proud school board member representing District 2 on the school board, which is up in central Palm Beach County, Palm Springs, unincorporated Lake Worth, Green Acres. And I was elected in 2020. When I started my campaign, it was January, and we had no idea where the world would go. So I have had quite the ride on the board. I am honored to be the first Hispanic woman elected to the board in Palm Beach County in history. And you wouldn't think that would have happened in 2020, but the progress we make there cannot stop this cycle. So I am fully in support and ask all of you to support my colleagues and my friends, Karen Brill, Erica Whitfield, and Marcia Andrews for re-election this cycle. Some of the things that we have done on the board would not have been done with the folks who are running against them. We're talking about things like writing a letter to Tallahassee and lobbying against the dangerous pieces of legislation that they push down our throats that tells us we're going to discriminate against LGBTQ students, we're going to chill teachers on how they can actually teach in a classroom, and we're going to try to rewrite history. We wrote a letter together and said we do not support that. The things that we are doing is we are giving the biggest raise in the state of Florida to teachers at 3.5% above the measly amount that Tallahassee says for the teacher salaries. My mom was a teacher. I lived on that salary. It is not enough. We need to keep moving forward on what we're doing as a school board. We need to attend every child, support every child, and support our teachers. And I need my colleagues up there with me to do that. So it is always wonderful to be with our Democrats. I started as a vice president of the Young Democrats of Palm Beach County. So to the students that are here in the table there, thank you for being here. Thank you for getting involved. Continue to be involved. We need young people to step up and be engaged and involved in the process for us to move forward. So I started as a member of a Democratic club, and I would not be where I am without the support of many people in this room who elected me to serve on our school board. So thank you, and congratulations to the Boca Delray Democratic Club on your luncheon today.
Thank you. Just a couple of recognitions. Junaid Acker, our Palm Beach County DEC committeeman, is now speaking up. You know, when I got elected to the legislature, there was a standard, and a standard that was set of Palm Beach County state representatives, all of us, that we had to work hard and read our bills. And that standard was set by Susan Booker, our former supervisor of election, but always known as the hardest worker. And Kelly, when we got there, you cracked that whip to make sure. We actually used to have study sessions on reading the bills. And again, in the process of, or in my comments of all our Constitution officers working together, we actually had a public defender, obviously, as we know, in Palm Beach County. but it's not an ordinary public defender. The work that Carrie Howard does is recognized nationwide, and truly, you have become the voice of public defenders throughout America. Things that start in the public defender's office usually have originated through Carrie's hard work here in Palm Beach County. And I want to recognize the DEC Secretary, Sophia Nelson. On to our keynote speaker. And we have a couple of speakers that are going to be talking about Governor Crist. But Governor, before I bring up those who are going to be introducing you, I want to bring up two things. You may or may not remember this. When you were governor, before the hug heard around the world, you came into the chambers my freshman year in 2008, and you came into the back of the chamber, and you said, hey guys, hey everyone, and you went like this and called in all the Democrats, and we all huddled around you, and you said, are they treating you good? Are they moving your bills? And you started firing out things that weren't moving our bills, and you had an aide with you, and he was writing down everything. You then took that and went up to the front where the Republicans sit and started working to get the Democratic bills heard. True story. True story. And for those who think that Governor DeSantis is not afraid of Governor Crist, you do not need any more proof in this. Governor DeSantis has been in a competition with Texas since the day he got elected. Everything that Texas does, we have to do in a right-wing way, bigger and better than Texas can ever do. When the Supreme Court ruled on abortion, many of us I know, because I spoke to some of you in this room, said, oh, we're going to go into a special session. We are going to pass the most heinous rights against women and pro-choice, pro-life measures in all of America. That didn't happen. Do you know why that didn't happen? He's afraid of the election that's coming with Governor Crist. Our great tax collector, Ann Gannon, is going to introduce Governor Crist, but to introduce Ann Gannon, Mindy, if you come up.
So, hi everybody. This is a wonderful lunch, and I'm so glad we're all here together for the second year in a row. So I get the privilege and great honor of introducing to you a woman you know extremely well, former House Rep, Ohio resident, lives in Palm Beach County since 1983. Our wonderful constitutional tax collector who always wins by a landslide, the Honorable Ann Gannon.
Yay, Buckeyes!
Roll Tide.
Yes. Good afternoon, and I have the honor and privilege to introduce my good friend Charlie. I'm not going to say representative or governor or any of those things, because I think that many of the Democrats, including Joe, here in Palm Beach County, we have a special relationship with you. But let me tell you the thing that really impresses me about Charlie. When I grew up, my parents were Republicans, and that's all we heard at the table. And somehow I became a Democrat. I'm not sure how, but it happened. I got hatched into the Democratic Party. The thing I really admire about Charlie is he did start out as a Republican. But as a Republican, he had a value system. And over the time period, he served first in the House of Representatives and the Senate, and the governorship, and a representative in Congress. He progressed. He thought about the issues. He may have changed his mind on some of them, but he dealt from fact-based information. And as you know, I'm an advocate for abortion rights. Probably that's my number one issue, is free women to make their own choices. Well, my belief in Charlie's may not be the same. Charlie actually vetoed the ultrasound bill when he was governor. So I'm really pleased to be able to introduce him. He has been endorsed by NARAL, Planned Parenthood, the National Abortion Rights League, but he is going to help us free Florida for sure, because we are not free as women in the state any longer. He has done many, many fine things for the state of Florida when he was governor, and it is my privilege and honor to introduce Charlie Crist.
Well, Ann is special. Please give her a round of applause. She's just great. I love her. Joe and I share a name. Joe is my middle name. There's no bad Joe, starting with Mike, right? Pray for him. The poor guy, Susan, he got the COVID again. I guess they call it a rebound COVID, something like that, Joe. At any rate, he's, what a great man. Kelly, how are you? Great to see you again. It's great to see all of you again. Thank you for having me here. It's a privilege and a pleasure, and great to be in Palm Beach County. A lot of great Democrats here. Yeah, I was a Republican. Weird, right? It was weird. And it's funny. I mean, I was a Republican because Mom and Dad were. You know, I grew up, God bless you. I grew up in St. Pete. How you doing, Ben? Good. Good. I grew up in St. Petersburg, and I was born in Pennsylvania. Anybody from Pennsylvania here? Okay, anybody from New York? Yeah. Okay. I heard my colleague Lois is here. Lois, are you here? Oh, she left. Of course. No. Lois is one of the funniest people I know. She's a riot, right, Kelly? I mean, she's just, I love her to death. Anyway, I'm glad she was here before. So I am running for governor to defeat Ron DeSantis. As they say in South Florida, oy vey. Madam Chair, how are you, Terry? Good to see you. Thanks for calling yesterday. This guy's a nightmare, right? I mean, oddly, he says in his State of the State address, Florida is the freest state in America. Oh yeah? Apparently not if you're a woman and you like the opportunity to choose and make your own decisions about your body and your health care. Evidently not if you're a black person and you'd like to be able to vote openly, honestly, and fairly and have drop boxes in minority communities throughout the state of Florida. Evidently, it's not free if you're LGBTQ and you don't want to have your kids chastised in school, but don't say gay. Apparently, not if you're a senior citizen like my dad, who just turned 90 last month, and my 87-year-old mother, Susan, who loved to vote by mail, and he's making it more difficult. Apparently not if you love democracy, because he's anti-democracy. He literally is making it harder to vote. He even put together an election police. Where the hell are we, man? I mean, it's beyond weird, it's awful. And sometimes you forget how many horrible things he's done to our beautiful Florida. He's tearing it apart. That's why I'm running. That's why I'm running. It's mind-blowing to me. But let me give you some hope. Because we all know how bad it is. He's a nightmare. All right? We're so much better. So much better. And the bar is low. I mean, it's shockingly low. And so being better is easy. But we're a whole lot better. I told you I was a Republican. I remember a guy named Mike Hamby. I graduated Florida State undergrad. We went to law school together. He was one of the general counsel for the DNC. Worked for an Alabama senator, Democrat. And he said, Charlie, you're a Democrat. You just don't know it. You're like for the environment and a woman's right to choose and for public schools and public school teachers and all this stuff. Well, now I know. I saw the light. And it's been like 10 years now. And I gotta tell you, I have never, ever in my life felt more politically comfortable than to be a proud Florida Democrat. It's a great thing. It's a great thing. And we have a great opportunity this year in Florida. You know it, I know it, They know. And we got a great Senate candidate, Val Demings, God bless her. She's my colleague in the Congress too. You know what that's going to do for minority turnout in November? Through the roof. Through the roof. I mean, it's a blessing. This is all a blessing. God is pissed off. No, I really feel it. I mean, it's like, okay, haven't I given you everything? Especially my Florida. I mean, you're the sunshine state. You know? It's like, it's never cloudy here except every afternoon in the summer. But that's good because it cools it down. But really, I mean, you think about how blessed we are as Americans. Honestly. We're the richest country in the world. We're the richest country in the history of the world. We're the most powerful nation on the face of the planet. Us, America. And when you turn on the news, we argue with each other all day long about stupid stuff. Really? I mean, I wear these yellow wristbands every day. And it talks about a rule that I learned as a kid growing up in St. Pete from my mother and my father. The golden rule. Simple. Do unto others as you would have done unto you. You know, if we just do that, all this junk goes away, as it should. And we've got to get back to good. This race is about good versus bad. I would say good versus evil. Well, I just did, okay. It is. He's evil. That's just my opinion. And apparently yours too. Because he is. I mean, what he has done, I describe it to people as the following. It's like he goes to bed every night. Which group can I pick on tomorrow? To prove my bona fides as a hard right red meat lunatic. Well, he's getting good at it. And he's doing well in polling for 2024. Even against the guy who lives in Palm Beach County. It's remarkable. He's diabolical. Diabolically bad. And he's walking over our state to try to get to the White House because he doesn't care about your house. If he ever did. Look at property insurance, for example. Good Lord. Kelly and her colleagues had to, Joe, go back to Tallahassee for a one-week special session that was special for the insurance industry. What did he do? He made it harder for consumers to fight for their rights against the insurance companies who are neglecting to pay them what they're due anyway. Brilliant, Ron. You forgot who you work for. You work for us. Not for the insurance companies, not for all these people who are giving you millions of dollars in your campaign. They're not your employer, except in his head, evidently they are. They are. And it's gross. It's corrupt. You know, there's one guy who grew up in Boca. It's in Chicago now. I hear he's moving back to Florida. A guy named Griffin. He gave him $5 million. One guy. Now that was back last fall. It gets worse. So the guy is the largest shareholder, or one of the largest shareholders in a company called Regeneron. You heard of that? It's a drug. It's a pharmaceutical. It's what you should take. And I hear it's a good medicine, Joe. But it's what you should take if you get COVID. Instead of preventing, Susan, getting it, our governor goes out after he gets $5 million from the guy and starts hawking it nationwide. Well, some nationwide, he's a national figure. But statewide in Florida to 22 million people. We're a big market. Almost 80,000 of us have died to this disease. That's a lot of people. So anyway, instead of talking about prevention, my dad's a family doctor, my sister's a physician. You know, prevention is the best medicine, whether it's cancer or COVID. Prevent it from getting to you in the first place. Get a vaccine. Wear a mask indoors, especially at the height of the pandemic. Governor never did that. Or maybe he did for a minute. And then, in April of last year, before I announced for governor, he gets another $5 million from this Ken Griffin fellow. I think the governor probably called him and said, I hear Charlie's going to announce in May May the 4th, 21, may the force be with you, to intimidate. I don't give a damn. I don't care if he has 200 million. It's not going to matter. It's not. You know, I have a colleague, I was just in California raising money this week, and I have a colleague in the Congress that's in a race for mayor, Karen Bass. She's great. Great. So they had a primary, or whatever they call it in California, I'm not sure. But it was last week. She had $4 million total. The one she beat spent $40 billion. It ain't always the devil. At the end of the day, it's you. It's us. It's the people. It really is. Of the people, by the people, for the people. You get out and vote like your life depends on it, because it does. It does. And we'll take them down. Believe it. We will. I know it's going to happen. I feel it. And I feel it more every day. Now we have an important primary, August 23rd. Never take anything for granted. I sure don't. At all. Ever. But if we're going to win in November, vote for me. I'm not ashamed to say it. I voted for me. You know, I remember growing up in school and, you know, I'd run for student council or whatever, that kind of stuff, you know. And, you know, gee, should I vote for myself? And I felt a little guilty about doing it. The hell with that. You know, we got to vote for us in droves and drag people with you. Or make sure they fill out their mail-in ballot. Or that they vote early. Barack Obama said it best. When we vote, we win. And we will. So I want to encourage you to go to charliecrist.com. Give me a few shekels. It'd be nice. It all helps. Get a bumper sticker on the way out. Put it on your car. You'll get us 7 more votes if you do. And it's really nice, thick vinyl. We ordered it on purpose so it'll come off. Won't hurt your pretty car. That's right. Or truck. Or golf cart. Whatever you ride around in. But anyhow, these are like, they seem like little things. They're not. It's the little things that make the big difference. And we have the little things, and we have heart. You know, everybody thinks he's Goliath. Well, if that's true, I'm David. And guess what? Just give me one pebble. Listen, thanks for inviting me. Thank you for everything you do. You made sure all your friends are ready to do this. We do this here, and he'll never be president of anything. God bless you, and God bless you. Thank you.
Governor Crist. One more time. Sure. Yeah, of course. Charlie would like to. We have one more very important award. And then Governor Crist is actually going to hang out with us a little bit, maybe take some questions. I would like to now turn over the program to Mindy, who's going to recognize someone very special.
So Kelly Skidmore has been our state rep for 2 different times, at 2 different times. Unfortunately, I can't vote for her at this coming election because I live too far east. Who knew? Kelly has been a member of the Boca Delray Dems since before me, I think. And she's been a great help to all of us. She has assisted us in learning what legislation we should fight and what legislation we shouldn't, and how we should fight it and what we should do with it. She was a director of the club, and she's been a longtime member, like I said. And so, activism is really important to the Boca Delray Dems. We canvass, we phone bank, we do whatever it takes to get Democrats elected, and we're really good at it. And so, without further ado, please help me welcome our Myra Golden Activist Award winner, Representative Kelly Skidmore.
Thank you so much. It's been great. This club is a great club to be a part of. There are so many friends. Corinne, I know I wasn't the best zone leader, but thank you so much for helping me get zone leader. Mindy, thank you so much for your mentorship and leadership and friendship. It means so much to me. Thank you guys for this award. I'm honored and humbled. I look forward to working with you this election and many more. Thanks so much.
Where am I going? All right. Good. Where am I going? Here he comes. And here he comes now. Never mind. I think Congressman Crist is going to stay for a while, so we're going to take a deep breath. It's not going to be too long a while, but a while.
Okay, come a little closer.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thanks, Fred.
Congressman Crist, Governor Crist, or Charlie.
Okay, so when I asked the clerk of the court, Joe Abruzzo, to do this for me today, I had no idea how great he was going to be and how terrific he is. So please, everybody, please show your appreciation. We had a lot of zigs and we had a lot of zags, and he just went right with the flow. So Joe, thank you so much.
No, please don't take it. Thank you for letting me do this.
Thank you.
All right. Are there any questions for? Yes.
Governor Crist,
Yes,
when you were governor,
yes,
you worked for our returning citizens, our felons.
I did.
What will you do when you become governor?
We'll do it again.
Better?
Yeah, absolutely fair. It's all about fairness. What she's talking about is the fact that when I got elected governor the first time, I made a commitment during the campaign to have automatic restoration of rights for former felons who had paid their debt to society. And we were able to get those rights restored for 155,000 Floridians who were then able to vote. So yeah, we'll do it. You have to. He's upset we're not forgiving anybody. Yes.
How do you address the voters who believe that open carrying a weapon is the definition of freedom when all the other freedoms we have are being stripped away?
Easily. So you look at Highland Park, Illinois. Look at Texas. Look at Parkland. Look at the Pulse nightclub. So if people think open carry is a good idea, they're not awake. That's how you do it. Tell the truth. How do you what?
How do you wake them up?
You beat them. You beat them. You have to beat them.
And
that's the answer.
Congressman, we have 4 students here from all different universities throughout the nation that are here home for the summer. They have one history.
I think that kind of echoes the previous question. So we were all high school students. We had things in their department, the tragedy, where we lost our fellow students. So I asked Governor, what would you do to keep students safe in Florida?
Three things, primarily. Number one, ban assault weapons, for sure. That's the biggest no-brainer of no-brainers. Ban assault weapons. Should have done it years ago. Number two, have background checks that actually check background. You know, I mean, this is not rocket science. And then number three, have these red flag laws nationwide. I mean, we have them in Florida, thank God. They can all be better, I'm sure. But imagine you got somebody in Savannah, Georgia that's not right. And they buy a gun. And then they come down to Jacksonville, Florida, and they do one of these ridiculous killings. So we have to have that nationwide. I'm sponsoring that right now in the Congress.
And Congressman, our last question from the President of our club.
Yes, Mr. President.
Thank you. And I will be brief on this. We all know what Joe Biden said when the ACA passed, that it was a big effing deal. It looks like this Inflation Reduction is just as big an effing deal. Have you had a chance, I know it's been short, but have you had a chance to have some idea what's going to come out of this in Florida?
Yeah, I think it's going to be great, Mr. President. I really do. And I'll tell you about President Biden. He's a friend, personal friend, and I think just a great man. I don't know if there's a more compassionate, caring, empathetic human being on the planet. I mean, think about what the guy's been through. Right after he got elected to the Senate from Delray, his wife and his children were in a tragic automobile accident. She lost her life, and one of their daughters lost her life. The two boys survived by the grace of God. And then, you know, you fast forward to when he's vice president, and he lost his son, Bo, to brain cancer. Frankly, it's the same brain cancer I lost my older sister to. Glioblastoma, they call it the monster, and it is. I mean, he's been through these things. And so why wouldn't he have a caring? Why wouldn't he understand what suffering is? He does. And I'll make a prediction. I think by the time we get to the fall elections, his numbers are going to be moving up faster than you could ever imagine. Really. Because he's just that good. And I think the American people will see it more and more clearly. I pray for you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next governor, Crist. We'd like to do a photo with all of you, so come on back here. No, over here, I think. You stand here, then stand around you. Come on, everybody get up. Up. Everybody, as in everybody.
Everybody, why not?
As in everybody.
Thank you. Where do you stand? Excellent. Oh, that's great. God bless you. Thank you. Where's the camera?
Right here, get the kids up front.
No, it's going to be right here.
Next generation of,
Carol, where are you? Carol.
Okay. There you go. You can still do that. Good for you. I can still do that. I've got a 6-year-old that happens to do that.
We need to look that way and smile.
Are y'all ready? 3,
2, 3.
All right, move it to another side so you get all of us.
We're done.
They got all of us. I love you guys.
thank you so much. Yeah.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Definitely.
I'm fairly new to Florida.
Yeah, we're from.
Connecticut, I was behind.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out.
I've been listening to you and I'm wavering. Tell me why I should vote for you.
Because I'm going to beat DeSantis.
That's what I thought, but you
That's
know,
why.
Okay, really, because
Yeah,
the
that's
more
why.
I listen to you, the more I start wavering.
It shouldn't be a waiver at all.